Yesterday, of course, was King Charles III's 74th birthday, and it was in the news, and one of my commenters also mentioned that to me about that King Charles was photographed standing under a royal English oak tree. And I just found that to be kind of incredible, since I just told the story about the royal oak trees and Gog and Magog being two of the royal oaks there in England, in Glastonbury. So ironically, on his birthday, he goes and is posing underneath the royal English oak tree. So let me just read you a little bit of that story that was printed in the news. And it's King Charles inherits role from Prince Philip on his 74th birthday. King Charles III celebrated his first birthday as Britain's reigning monarch. To mark the occasion, Buckingham Palace on Monday released a new photo of Charles, who is now 74. The photo shows Charles resting against an ancient royal oak tree in Windsor Great Park near Windsor Castle. Along with the photo, the palace announced that Charles has been named the Ranger of the Great Windsor Park, a position that for the past nearly 500 years has been held by a member of the royal family. Charles takes over as Ranger from his father, who held the role for 70 years. We are honored to have His Majesty as Ranger of Windsor Great Park, continuing a long tradition of the sovereign and members of the royal family holding this role, Paul Sedgwick, Rural and Deputy Ranger of Windsor Great Park, said in a statement shared by the palace. Windsor has a wonderful heritage with many precious natural habitats, he continued. His Majesty's passion and commitment to the natural world will be invaluable as we seek to become a center of excellence for environmental best practice, preserving and enhancing the Great Park for generations to come. As he assumes the new role, Charles will celebrate his birthday on Monday, which he did yesterday, privately, with no public engagements on his schedule. Charles's birthday this year is his first without his father or mother, Queen Elizabeth II, who died in September at the age of 96. The Queen was preceded in death by Philip, her husband of more than 70 years, who died April 9, 2021 at the age of 99. Next year will be a monumental one for Charles, whose coronation will take place in May at Westminster Abbey. Charles's wife Camilla, the Queen Consort, will also be crowned during the ceremony, the first to take place since the Queen's coronation in 1953. That is so astounding that much time has gone by. The palace has yet to announce details of the service, but it is understood that it will be smaller and shorter than the Queen's coronation. Charles, a father of two and grandfather of five, was born at Buckingham Palace in London in 1948. He was just 3 years old when he became the heir apparent, as his mother acceded to the throne as queen following the death of her father, King George VI. It took me 2 days to make that video about the Royal English oak tree and its connection to Gog and Magog, and of course the statues of Gog and Magog that are in London's Guildhall, the City of London. And they parade those Gog and Magog statues in the Lord Mayor's show in the City of London. It's kind of like a city within a city, and you know, the whole financial sector has to do with it. So it's very interesting that Charles would go stand under this gigantic Royal English oak tree after I did that video. I mean, that's just amazing to me. So they loaded this picture of King Charles III standing under the Royal English oak tree, and it said, "His Majesty the King has officially become Park Ranger of Windsor Great Park, 70 years after his father, His Royal Highness the Duke of Edinburgh, was appointed to the post. The Ranger of the Great Park offers oversight and guidance to the Deputy Ranger and his team in the day-to-day stewardship of one of the country's oldest estates. The role can be traced back to 1559, when Sir Henry Neville was appointed during the reign of Queen Elizabeth I. After the last 460 years, the post has usually been held by the sovereign or family members, including the king's father and grandfather. The Duke of Edinburgh was the longest-serving ranger of Windsor Great Park, holding the role from 1952 until his passing in 2021. His Royal Highness took an active role in overseeing developments such as the reintroduction of red deer into the deer park in 1979 and the development of the Savile Garden Visitor Center and Virginia Water Pavilion. So I suppose it's all about sustainability, right? Jolly good. And since the Royal English Oak really represented Gog and Magog, the two giant statues, and Jerusalem was given one of the Royal English Oaks at Yad Vashem and the other one at previously at the President Reuven Rivlin's residence. Then there's two Royal English oak trees in England, and there's the two Royal English oak trees in Glastonbury that are Gog and Magog. So here's the king, the one who I believe that they probably will accept as the anointed one, which means Messiah. They're going to have one more earthly king to establish the throne of David, and that 7-year time that Israel has to fulfill, the time of Jacob's trouble, and then the king will descend from heaven, and all the kingdoms of this world will become his kingdom that will rule and reign forever. So we're looking forward to that. So this is just a really stunning thing that happened yesterday on King Charles III's birthday, and I just had to share this with you because I just did that video about it, and I was amazed. So that was really God's timing. Stay tuned for my next video, in which I'm going to go into depth about the Scarlet Harlot, Mystery Babylon. And you'll see from that how I came to the conclusion that I did from the Word of God and from the historical record of Israel and Jerusalem and Judah and their royal monarchy that came to an end. So, all of this is just fascinating stuff. And we just pray for all the people that are struggling and suffering right now. And keep them in your prayers. Keep me in your prayers. I really wanted to be out of here before the holidays, but it looks like I won't be able to. Anyway, I'll be back and I'll share all of the details with you about Mystery Babylon and show you what I was talking about when I said those things. Tally-ho, till we meet again.